Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of great Musa and well, and shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel, the elect of Yahushai. And, coming back to you once again in the spirit and power of the Lord, man, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. I just want to speak upon, recent events and, the main prophecy that we're waiting for, which is the MOTB prophecy spoken of in Revelation, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse on down. Okay. And, that's the major one that we're looking out for. That's the major one that we're seeing the building blocks for. Excuse me. All right. And pretty much the MOTB, which stands for the MARK, which I'm spelling it out, of the beast, okay, is the C-hip, okay? You got to put that together, CHIP implant. All right, the reason why I'm speaking like that is because, you got a lot of systems in place on YouTube that blocks these, certain keywords. So we got to speak around it so that we can get the information out there, man. All right, because that's what the devil's trying to hinder this information getting out there. All right, so that's what that is. And, you're not to take that, man. All right. Otherwise, you suffer the judgment spoken of in Revelation, the 14th chapter and the 9th verse. Now, recently you've had, SVB Bank, Credit Suisse in the news, okay, regarding their turmoil, okay. And what it prompted me to do is I typed into Google, I'll do it again. I typed in, what is the biggest, was it biggest I typed? Let's try that first, and if not, let's type the biggest industry in the world, okay? Here we go. The largest industry in the world. That's right, the financial industry is the largest industry in the world, totaling $109 trillion. It dwarfs the competition. For comparison, real estate is worth 33 trillion. Okay, so you've got different industries that make up an empire. Okay, you got the tech industry, you got the coal. Okay, you got core industries. Let me type in the core industries list. Okay, and a lot of it is backed by the financial industry. Okay, natural resources, all that kind of stuff, man. Right? Main core industries of world. The 8 core sectors: coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, fertilizer, steel, cement, electricity, which are building blocks of a functioning society, man. All right. Now, this MOTB that we mentioned in Revelation 13 and 16, which let's start by reading that. Let's read the actual prophecy, right? Revelation 13 and 16, it says, "And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a MARK in their right hand or in their foreheads." So this is going to be a physical implanted thing, okay? Like I mentioned to you earlier, the C-hip, right? Now this is what it goes on to say in verse 17. "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the MARK, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Meaning what? That without this thing inside you, okay, you're not going to be able to transact in this society, all right? And that is what everything is heading to. Now, in order for them to establish and bring forward, okay, because remember the scriptures talk about the devil deceiving the world, okay? In order for them to bring this forth as the main thing where everyone's going to go out and do it, and it's going to have to be compliant, and they're going to have to queue up and get it, okay? Because, there's people doing it in Sweden, okay, right now as we speak. But for it to be on a major scale, for this prophecy to come to pass, all right, one of the things is that they have to do away with the old system, okay? Then they might have it running alongside it, okay, the cash system, but they have to, in order for them to push the digital currency, okay, which is going to be the currency that's on the device, okay, the implanted device, they have to cause some issue, man, okay? so that they can deceive the people to take it. All right. And it's all part of prophecy. All this banking stuff that's happening now. The banking system is, based off of what? Debt, man. You look at that, you got fractional reserve banking, which basically is them creating money out of thin air off of the so-called deposits they have. But even now that's been, changed. I don't know the latest on it, but even that's been changed. So it's not even how it was before, where you had to have a 10% deposit. Okay. Some places it could be still like that. Some places it could be different. They got different legislation. All right. But the point is that they can make money out of nowhere on a digital platform. Okay. So numbers on a screen, and that's what they lend out to you. Okay. That's how the system operates and runs, this international banking system. And that's why a lot of the elites are what? International banking family elites. Okay, they own all these central banks, the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, so on and so forth. All these financial establishments. They decide what the gold price is. Okay, not too long ago, the gold price index was done at the Rothschild building, man. Where was gold priced? Yeah, let's tie that in. That's not what I'm looking for. Who set the price of gold? What was it? Let's do 1991, 1992. I looked this up recently. Bear with me. The London Gold Fixing, or Gold Fix, is the setting of the price of gold that takes place via a dedicated conference line. It was formerly held on the London premises of Nathan Mayer Rothschild and Sons, NM Rothschild and Sons, okay, by the members of the London Gold Market Fixing Limited. All right. So that's where it was, you had the different people that got together, these top heads that would decide and manipulate the gold, and they manipulate the silver, which, according to the scriptures, what's real wealth? Let's get it. This is Genesis 13:1. And Abraham went up out of Egypt, and he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. And Abraham had a lot of resources. He was a very wealthy man. Okay. And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. All right. Cattle is an ongoing resource, man. Okay. It's an ongoing resource, and pretty much you have to have land for that. And, Abraham had the land, he had the cattle. He was moving around, he was, having them graze, and pretty much, he was very rich. He had a lot of abundance, he had a lot of resources by having a lot of cattle, man. Okay? And it says, and in silver and in gold. All right? Showing you what real wealth is. Okay? Says he was very rich. When you look at the history, you had people like Mansa Musa, who was very, very rich in gold, man, to the point where when he was giving out gold, at that time, he was crashing the price of gold. That's how much gold he had, man. Okay, when you go into the scriptures, you look at in the time of Solomon, King Solomon, okay, silver was regarded as basically I forgot the exact wording, but like rock, stone, whatever you want to call it, man. Okay, so pretty much, there was a time when we, well, that establishes the point. That establishes that gold and silver is real money, okay? Cattle, all of that. That's why even the newer systems used to be backed by gold, okay? The gold standard, so on and so forth. You would have a deposit of, let's say you had a deposit of 20 pounds of silver, okay? Or 20 ounces of silver, whatever. Or gold or whatever. And let's say that you want to transport that from one city to another city. Now, the banks, let's use America, for example. The bank would have one bank in one city, and they'd have another branch of it in another city, and they'd have holdings within their safe, okay, which would be protected. All right. So instead of you carrying that, what you carry instead is a note, okay? And that note, you take it, it would be signed by the bank manager in that bank, okay? and then you would take that note to the other bank when you get to the other city. Okay, you wouldn't hold any physical gold or silver on you because of bandits and all the treasures of traveling. Okay, and then you take that note to the other bank, and they would only take that note from you and give you the money, the equivalent money back from their safe. Okay, that's what the note system was originally based on, but now you got it, based on pretty much money out of thin air, man. Okay, debt, and debt is in the scriptures. Let's get that in a Habakkuk, and I'll get it in the blue letter so that we get the understanding on it. Okay, let's go to Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and let's start from verse 5 and go straight to 6. We'll go 6. Well, I'll start from 4. Well, actually, to be honest, Habakkuk 2, I'm going to start from verse 2. It says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." And then we're making it plain right now, okay, through the teachings, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. It's being made plain by it being broken down by the apostles and elders on down, man, the prophets. "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." All right? Now, the prophecies are coming to pass, man, okay? All these prophecies are coming to pass. Now, the main prophecy we're waiting for is the MOTB prophecy in Revelation 13. And John, on the island of Patmos, saw that John, the Christian scholars call him, the biblical scholars call him John the Revelator, one of the apostles of Yahweh Shai, okay? John saw these visions. He saw people lining up and getting chipped, man. All right? He actually saw that. So, this is going to be fulfilled. Okay? As it is written, my word does not go out void. Isaiah the 55th chapter. It accomplishes that whereunto the Lord sent it to, man. All right? So it will surely come. It will not tarry. We're very close to this. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." Okay? So who's the one whose soul is not upright? Esau, the wicked. Okay, who's the one that's implementing the system? He wants complete control and dominion. He wants to declare himself as a god upon the earth, basically. Okay, complete control that he wants with this device. All right, but he goes on to speak about the just. Who's the just? Okay, the Israelites. Okay, those that believe in Yahweh Shemel Shai, his elect, are going to live by faith. All right. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning his philosophies, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Everywhere other than the Mount Seir that this man is taken over, okay, which the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, is not his. And he enlargeth his desire as hell, okay, and death. Okay, death is never satisfied, man. The grave is always going to take more. Okay, so he's never satisfied. It says, "But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." Okay, that's why you got all these mix of people, all right, around the earth and these major cities and all of that. Now this is the point, verse 6. "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." Now when you look at the US debt clock, okay, the US debt clock is way high, okay? And you've got an individual debt that's on you, man, okay, as a citizen. So if they call in that debt now, all right, if they call in that debt, they're gonna have to send their officers, their troops to call in that debt. They can do that. Okay? That's why, okay, this is debt slavery. All right. Now when you go into that word, okay, thick clay. Let's go into that so we understand it. Is it talking about actual clay? Let's read it. The word there is ibatya, okay, meaning a weight of pledges, heavy debts, okay. So that's what it's talking about, man. All right, heavy debts by this man and his debt-based system. All right. So we're not ignorant to Satan's devices as it is written, man. Like in 2 Corinthians 2:11. Now I quoted it. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, so we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're watching to see what this man is doing, and we're looking at the situation with these banks, okay? And seeing what this man is doing, man. All right? But pretty much all these industries are getting affected. When you look at the industries, like we read a couple of them earlier, okay, which coal, all of that leads into what? Natural, they had to start some of the coal factories again, okay, because the wind farms weren't getting a lot over here in the UK, and they were having a natural resource crisis, so-called, man. All right. Naturally, they're inflating the price of food, they're inflating the price of resources, okay, which they have no real reason to do that, okay. They're inflating greed, okay, which ultimately, well, the real reason is to basically bring about the New World Order, man, okay. For them to make it so chaotic in crisis that people can't afford to live, they're going to have to rely on the government, and the government's going to supply them with that resolution, which is the MOTB, okay. So, hey, you know, warning, this is a warning in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is what's coming down the pipeline, man. We've got to be watching, we've got to be wary, okay, and stay strong in the faith in Yahweh Shemel Shai. Keep up the prayers, you know. And Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, Bashem Makakadash. With that, man, I'm going to say shalom. Shalom to the elect.